Hey, what's up? This is Nick with Ultimate Motorcycling, and today we're out here riding one of the legends of the super naked class, the brand new 2021 Aprilia Tuono V4 Factory, and its sibling, the standard V4. So you guys already know what this bike is. It has been a class leader for many years now, competing with the likes of the Ducati Street Fighter V4, the KTM Super Duke R, BMW S1000R, and the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. Now, of course, this is an update to the model. It is not a full revisioning, but there are some significant changes this year, and we are going to get into them. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, that beautiful 1077cc engine, the V4, that has really made this bike what it is. You get massive amounts of low-end torque, awesome mid-range, which is perfect for road use and racetrack use. And then you also got plenty of top-end power that really you can maximize in a racetrack setting. And that is all derived from its RS V4 Superbike heritage. Now, even though it is a Euro 5 compliant engine, you are still getting 174, 175 ponies, and you're getting something like 89 foot-pounds of torque. And on the street, that's where this thing really shines. You get on the gas, nice and smooth ride-by-wire throttle, which is something that Aprilia, Ducati, and BMW have really excelled at in the past few years, and Triumph, I should mention as well. But very crisp, clean throttle response. Get on the gas and just hear that beautiful V4 note. And, you know, that's what makes this kind of the experience. It's that whole ambiance. Everything about it just makes it, well, what it is, and something that you guys need to experience for yourselves.
Radiant heat is still an issue for the Tuono when riding at slow speeds or stuck in traffic. However, Aprilia engineers have allowed a little bit of reprieve thanks to the double-walled fairings that draw hot air away from the rider. However, the rider's boots and feet and ankles still get hit with some heat when you're stuck in traffic or traveling at slow speeds.
Okay, so now you guys know on both of these bikes, and par for the course with Aprilia motorcycles, you get that full APRC electronics package. Now, you have adjustable throttle maps, you have adjustable ride modes, as I mentioned earlier. You also have lean angle traction, or lean angle detecting traction control, cornering ABS, engine braking management, so on and so forth. Again, derived from the RSV4. Now, for the street use, and what I think is really beneficial is that adjustable TC with the happy little paddles right here, and I'm glad they've stuck around. And you dive into this brand new 5-inch TFT display with some new buttons on the left-hand side. So they did ditch the joystick of the 2017 plus models. And as much as my, the child in me, the gamer in me, we shall say, enjoys it, well, these buttons are actually quite easy to use and a little bit easier to use with your gloved hand. That said, the electronics package on the street is one of the best in the business, up there with the likes of Ducati, Triumph, etc., etc. On the racetrack, well, I expect it to behave the same way. And with the factory model that you see before you, you are getting a couple extra little goodies. So you do have the Öhlins electronic suspension that uses the latest Smart EC 2.0 system. That means it adjusts damping automatically, and that is absolutely superb on the street. I think it just pays dividends when you're on, inconsistent roadways, and it's able to gobble that up. And for me, I really liked the A2 setting, but that's going to come down to preference. And you can go in and adjust damping as you see fit, nice and easy. Now, the other big changes that have come this year, and the biggest change is really derived from the RSV4 that we reviewed back in April, earlier this year. You now have that underslung swing arm. So, according to Aprilia, it is now 48% stiffer. It also is about 600 grams lighter. So, saving a little bit of weight, getting an extra bit of stiffness, and really the chassis is what speaks to me about the Tuono. It's very stable, very stable. And you just get this awesome front end feel, awesome feel in the rear, so you can put that power down. And then also, when you're getting on those nice big Brembo style calipers, diving into those corners, you can trust the front end. And that is one of the Tuono's defining characteristics for me. Now, that all applies to the factory, okay? So riding position, when compared to the 17 plus, 18 plus models, everything's same. Handlebar height, same. Seat, same. Foot pegs are the same. But then we go over to the standard model. And this is where Aprilia has actually done some fundamental changes. With the standard V4, it has sort of changed its positioning, whereas the factory model is aimed at racetrack riding and fast canyon riding. It is the more performance-oriented of the bunch. Aprilia has gone ahead and added wind protection to the standard model, which you can see with the windscreen. There's also some extra fairing bits to this now RS660 inspired and RS-V4 inspired design. And you also have lower passenger foot pegs, and the seating area is a little bit different as well to just give it that more touring oriented thing. Now, the big thing that I think you guys are going to notice if you jump from the factory to the standard bike is the fact that the riser handlebars are a little bit taller. Kind of gives it a little bit more touring feel, and actually kind of changes the way the bike handles for me, because you're not really over the front end as much. For me, that bike just really speaks to the Tuono owner that in the past, and Aprilia has really listened and looked at the market closely.
The visual updates to the 2021 Tuono models extend to the ergonomics in a couple important ways. Although the seat heights are the same as before, the slimmer fuel tank and reshaped seats make the bikes feel slightly narrower, which increases comfort and allows my 32-inch inseam to get boots on the ground quite easily.
If you looked at a lot of Aprilia Tuono owners of the past, they put bags on a bike. They did things like that. They did tour on them. They went on long distance rides to racetracks. Well, that's what that bike does.
The standard Tuono V4 uses conventional Sachs suspension, which means you'll have to adjust it manually. Although it is not up to snuff with the Olin stuff, which is outstanding, it is great in its own right and keeps the Tuono V4 planted and stable through the corners.
So you get all of the performance of the factory with a lot of the practicality of a more tour-oriented model. So you do have baggage accessories available, and you also have extra wind protection and the riser handlebars, and that really sums up the differences. If you guys have any questions about these bikes, you know what to do. Drop them down below and I will get you some answers. And the last thing I want to do is remind you guys to go ahead and be safe out there. Now, take care.